Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Joe. This is Shooting Gallery. Today we got a special video for you. We're going to be doing the full review on the Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly 101. Good Lord, this is an amazing shooting handgun. Let's get into it. Like I said, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe. Now, today we are going to be doing the full review of the Grizzly 101 from Bear Creek Arsenal. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Bear Creek Arsenal. They did send this gun to the channel free of charge. That is not going to affect the review at all. Just want to be completely transparent. Yes, they did provide the gun itself, and take that for what you will, but for this entire review, I do want to say that this gun is been safety checked. We're pointing the gun in a safe direction. All shooting footage was done at a safe location on a designated range. Eyes, ears, all that was practiced. So let's get into the video. So let's get into specs on the Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly 101. Now, minus the attachments that I have on it, it is a Glock 17 Gen 3 clone. Now, this is obviously a full-size striker-fired handgun. This is their first addition into the striker-fired handgun Glock clone market. Now, the Grizzly 101 has a few amazing features for a price that everybody can afford. It features a 20-degree grip angle. It has their custom bear fur stippling. As you can see, the stippling pattern right here, it feels like it's, you know, the bear fur. I know in the first unboxing video I did, I said it was bear claw. It's bear fur, but it also has what they call thumb rests. I call them accelerator cuts. It's just, you know, added points of contact on the frame. It has a flared mag well. Comes custom from Bear Creek Arsenal. Has a slide that features front serrations, window cuts for the lightened weight. It is cut for an RMR platform, so your Holosuns, Gideon Optics, Trijicons, anything that takes an RMR footprint will fit on this slide. It works with almost all Glock 17 holsters, and it comes stock with photoluminescent night sights. They're metal. I'm going to get down to the sights in a minute. Depending on the model you can get between a gray, flat dark earth, black, and I believe now green frame. And you have a wide variety of their own in-house barrels, from non-threaded, threaded, fluted stainless steel, and I believe they have Tinifer finish now, or the gold barrels. But those are the specs. It takes 9mm, comes with 2 KCI 17 round, not 18 round magazines. And yeah, that's pretty much the specs of the Grizzly. Let's get into how it's shot. Since getting this handgun, I've been super excited because the price that the Grizzly 101 is coming to is under $300 for a full-size, fully customized Glock 17 clone. You guys know I'm a huge Glock guy. Me, Dark, we're all Glocka fans, and this is the first Glock 17 I really have had a chance to shoot that I personally own. I do have a Polymer 80 serialized Glock 17. I will compare it to down the road. I will say I'll have to change out some parts in that because right now that gun is the biggest pile of dog crap. I don't recommend it personally, but I have shot regular Gen 3 Glock 17s, and when it comes to the customization that this gun comes stock with, you're going to be paying upwards of almost $1,000 to get the stippling, the lightning cuts, the slide work, threaded barrel, the trigger. One of the best triggers I've ever tried that is a aftermarket Glock clone. I wouldn't say it's as good as a stock Glock trigger. A little bit, it's about 6 pounds. And it's a dream to shoot. This stipple pattern is phenomenal. And there's so much good things I can say about the gun, but for what you get for under $300, minus obviously you're not going to have the Holo Sun, the Goon Beam, and the Silencer Co. Osprey 2.0, you can get a threaded barrel Grizzly 101 for under $300 when they have sales. That is phenomenal. If you were to get this same exact gun in, say, a Shadow Systems, this exact gun, I don't know the designations of Shadow Systems, but the Glock 17 Shadow Systems is going to cost you upwards of $1,300 for stipple pattern, metal sights, RMR cut, flashy, cool guy, lightning cuts and front serrations, and a better trigger. But you get all the same features for, you could probably buy 3 of these and still not even add up to a full-size Shadow Systems, which I think is a huge plus. But let's get into the pros and cons, why we have it suppressed, get into all that. So guys, let's just go over exactly what we have in here. Like I said before, this is outfitted with the Holo Sun 407 CX2. So this is a green dot RMR footprint. Again, this is safety check, no mag in the gun, and there is nothing in the chamber. So this is clear. We are not taking this suppressor on or off. This is just on the gun. And we have this, the suppressor on this video is my only suppressor, which is a Silencer Co. Osprey 9 2.0, and we're sporting the Gen 1 Goon Beam weapon pistol light. Check that out. If you guys want to use code JOJO, you save 10% off at goonbeam.com, so check them out. But yeah, this has been an absolute dream to shoot. As you can see from the shooting footage, I've mostly shot this gun suppressed for the most part. I have the target right here. Now, I'm about 15 yards. And let's see, how did I have this oriented? So at this point, I have about 500 rounds to the gun. This was my target from this week, and this is between suppressed and non-suppressed. The groupings at 15 yards is phenomenal. When I started putting the suppressor on, I didn't really have any shift in, point of impact, point of aim. Once I got this can very, very hot, I was like, what is the groupings I can get? Right around here, this is about a 5-shot group right here, and I'd have to say I aimed a little bit to the right just so I can get a definite, and this gun performs well and it suppresses like a dream. I'm only shooting about 124 grain 9mm Blazer brass that I picked up from Brownells, and it suppresses very well. I didn't get a chance to try it without my earphones on. As you can see in the video, I was at a public range, so I didn't want to abuse the power, and people were starting to shoot next to me, so I couldn't get a definite. I bet if I did 147 grain subsonics, this thing would shoot like a dream. But real pro, again, you can get a Glock 17 threaded barrel, so if you do have a suppressor, you can, again, make sure you have all the attachments. I'm still not done testing the Osprey, and I won't have a video on this till I get the fixed barrel spacer to completely give you a you know, a good review of the suppressor itself. But I've mostly shot this gun suppressed. And some of the shooting footage you see in this video, I have it unsuppressed just so you can see recoil mitigation. But as a suppressor host, I really like it. Half by 28 threaded barrel, industry standard, from 9mm. Since it's a full-size handgun, it's not as snappy as my Glock 19s or, you know, any other, you know, medium-size subcompact compact pistol. It's full-size, comfortable to shoot, and the fact that it can take Glock 17 holsters is really going to work in a lot of your inside the waistband, outside the waistband. Another pro. Price is always going to be my biggest pro when, you know, you catch these on sale for under $300. It does come cut from the factory, no plates needed, a direct RMR cut. That's awesome. Now, I do have a couple cons on this gun. The photoluminescent metal sights. I said this in the unboxing. They, you know, you gotta, it's one of those things where you get light on the sights and it retains the light, so it's night sights. I'm just not a fan of them. I think they look ugly. It's personal preference. If you're gonna put night sights, put night sights. Don't put photoluminescence. I understand. I said this in many other Bear Creek Arsenal videos. They do stuff like this in order to keep the price down, and I bet they probably make these sights in-house, where they make most of their stuff in-house, just to keep the price down for the consumer. They are a direct-to-consumer manufacturer. All your aftermarket triggers will work in this. I have not upgraded it yet. I'm thinking about going with probably a Johnny Glock's trigger in this. Granted, Johnny Glock's is also about 20 minutes down the road in Sarasota, so that would be pretty cool. Maybe we can get Johnny Glock's to hook up a Bear Creek Arsenal Grizzly 101. Another knock on the sights. You're putting a gun that is optics ready with a threaded barrel. This model doesn't come with suppressor height sights. The good thing about the suppressor I use, with it being the Osprey, it sits a little bit lower where you're not going to need suppressor height sights per se. But if you're selling a gun optics ready and it's a threaded barrel, probably someone has a chance to put a suppressor on there, you might want to throw suppressor height sights in. Now, again, it goes back to keeping costs down. They at least give you not the metal sights, and they're photoluminescent. They're not just the plastic white dot 3-dot sights that most Glocks come with. Awesome. But again, I would like to see a suppressor height sight option available. If it's an extra 40 bucks, I would be okay with paying that. I can't really see I haven't really seen any pins walking out from my knowledge. Again, this gun has mostly been shot suppressed. It has a full-length Picatinny rail, awesome. So that's what, you know, we can do the goon beam on, and it's really accurate. Like, as you can see from the target, that, you know, I'm about 500 rounds in. Most of it has been suppressed. I can't find that many bad things today other than the sights. And, you know, I thought I wasn't going to like the Bear first stippling, and dear Lord, it is some of the most comfortable stippling I've ever shot. I would like to try and see if I can upgrade the trigger. Like I said, the trigger comes in around 6 pounds, depending. But that's just me. Like, you guys all know, I always try and change out the triggers whenever I can, but for what this gun has, I don't feel like I need to change the trigger immediately, because it is out the gate. It's starting to pretty much broken in by this point, and I haven't had one malfunction shooting it. So pros and cons, if they could change the sights to non-photoluminescent or just suppressor height night sights, I think that would be a major selling point in the gun. Now, when it comes down to it, brass tacks, I will say this in every video. You gotta shoot your guns, okay? When I pick up this Bear Creek Arsenal, I swear it feels so natural. Like when I press out, with that being, I have a full-size grip, I feel like this is the most controllable gun I've ever shot. And maybe it's just because I have large hands, so full-size handguns are always going to be easier to shoot. When you're sometimes coming in with this gun under $300, that is fantastic. From my understanding, they're gonna start selling frames, so if you're in like the builder community, you want to build off a Grizzly 101 frame, that would be pretty cool, and you know, have a custom Grizzly 101. One other con I did want to add is I noticed they got Bear Creek Arsenal all over this gun, like embroidered into the injection molded frame. I'm not a fan of that. It kind of reminds me of the grip zone, but that, again, that's just personal preference. Maybe it's just like lawyer speak, or you know, kind of how Ruger has a bunch of lawyer speak all over their guns. I can't change that, but it's just another thing I noticed. But if it comes down to, if I were to spend my own money on this, so far at 500 rounds with not a single malfunction, I haven't had any bad accuracy out of this. Like, you get the stigma that Bear Creek Arsenal does not make great quality stuff, and I have been proving time and time again that Bear Creek Arsenal has stepped up their game in their QC, and I think they knocked it out of the park with the Grizzly 101. Now, maybe down the road, if I want to buy another threaded barrel gold, I think that would like accent this gun very well. Depending on the barrel choice too, it's going to depend on the price, because if you do a fluted barrel, threaded, non-threaded barrel, fluted stainless, it's going to vary, not that much. But I would like to have a little bit more flair to this. Maybe a gold threaded barrel would be kind of cool, and I would want to upgrade to suppressor height sights, even if they're not night sights. Definitely a great suppressor host. If they just fixed the sight problem, I think it would be an absolute slam dunk. This would probably be a big contender for, say, guns like Capital Armory's guns. I would like to put this up against a Shadow Systems full-size 17 clone and see what is better. The good thing about this, it doesn't require a break-in period, which is good. That 20% grip angle really makes it a comfortable shooter. Even, I say, a full-size dagger, when it comes down to the price, you're going to be in a big contendership with this, and the fact that you can put it in Glock 17 style holsters, which is awesome. RMR cut, glad they didn't go Doctor or Delta Point Seymour cut. Go RMR cut, that's kind of industry standard. That's what everyone is using, either a Holosun, a Gideon Optics Alpha or Omega, a Trigicon. I think some Siley optics are actually RMR cut too. So I mean, this is pretty much a slam dunk. I have a couple guns I'm gonna try and compare this to. If it was my own money, I would 100% buy this under $300, and it's a full-size Glock 17. Takes Glock mags. I've shot P-mags, ETS group, KCI, regular OEM mags, all fed wonderful. And I also shot some black belt ammunition through this at one point, and it fed amazingly. Black belt ammunition is my carry load of choice, the 130 grain hollow point. So, guys, if you can do me a favor, check out the affiliates page below. I'm gonna have a link in the affiliates page to check out Bear Creek Arsenal. Pick these up. Again, under 300 bucks for a Glock 17. That's all tricked out. You don't have to pay Shadow Systems money, and it's a great value. Also, check out my buddy Chris from the 740. He did an amazing review on this as well. He also agrees with me this is probably one of the best handguns of 2024, and one of his favorite guns he's shot all year. So, Bear Creek Arsenal knocked it out of the park. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big shout out to Bear Creek for sending this gun into the channel. I am in love with it. It's becoming one of the mainstays, just like my BC9 bufferless. Like, if I can work it right, I'd like to run a whole USPSA match with my BC9 and the Grizzly 101. I would love to actually try out, say, like one of their 458 SOCOM guns or their 350 Legend guns. just because for what they offer, or hell, even build myself a 6.5 Creedmoor, I think they would be awesome. I don't really need a 10 mil carbine. I got the High Point, but they do have, they have such a wide variety of caliber conversions for ARs, and they're coming in, like right now they're running some sales where you can get an AR-15 for around $340. Like that you can't beat that price. That's awesome. So guys, check out Bear Creek Arsenal in the affiliates page listed below, and it does help support the channel. We would really appreciate that. Also, check out fattac.com. It's your one-stop shop if you're a big dude and you want to get some t-shirts, holsters, body armor, you name it, medical gear, optics, flashlights. Check out fattac.com. It's your one-stop shop for the big boys. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe, stay shooting. We'll see you next time. Peace.